What's up guys? Today's video is about the top 5 best coffee grinders for espresso of this year through extensive research and testing to put together a list of options. So what are the price, performance, and particular use? For more information on the products, do I have to include the links in the description box below, which is updated for the best prices? Like the video, do comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 1. CUISINART Coffee Grinder. Before I got my hands on the Baratza, this was the entry-level grinder I had for about a year, one of the most affordable on the market with burr-style blades. It's quite intuitive to use. You simply fill the chamber with beans, set the dial to any of the 18 settings between fine and coarse grind, set the number of cups you are planning to brew, though you won't need this if you pre-weigh the amount of beans you put in the first place, and press start. And while I only used mine once a month or so, I sometimes buy pre-ground beans, and even more so back in the day. Strategist writer Aaron Schwartz has used the same model nearly every day for more than 5 years and says, "It's kind of incredible that it hasn't broken or shown any signs of serious wear and tear yet." They like that the top container can fit a standard size bag of beans, so they don't have to waste pantry space on leftovers. And while they note that it's not the easiest to take apart to clean, most of the pieces are dishwasher safe, and it stores well, rectangular and compact with a place to wrap the cord underneath. Number 2. Baratza Encore Electric Grinder. I've been using the Baratza Encore for a year now, and I love it. It's one of the tools that has convinced me to up my at-home coffee game. The machine is super intuitive to use, and initially took me no more than 5 minutes to set up and get a handle of. There are 2 simple switches, on and off, and a dial to choose from 41 grind settings, numbered 0 to 40. Mine generally stays between 25 and 30 to work with my standard coffee machine, but I've used the smallest setting for espresso, notoriously difficult to get as fine of a grind as you need with no problem. And the subtleties between all the sizes are very apparent. You can make minute adjustments if you're dedicated to landing on exactly what will yield the best cup for your particular coffee brewing method. It takes a couple of rounds to grind a full bag of beans, how I do it, as opposed to per serving, but works quickly at about a minute per turn. In general, my biggest qualm with coffee grinders is the mess they make, but this one has nicely angled sides on the grind chamber that allow for relatively neat pouring. And it's easy to disassemble, clean, and reassemble the detachable parts before I store it. Number 3. Krups Precision Grinder. If you're not quite ready to take the plunge on a model upwards of $100, the Krups Precision Grinder is a solid place to start. It comes recommended by Paul Schlater, owner of New York City-based Birch Coffee, who promises it has the essentials: 12 settings for selecting your preferred grind size and a cup selector, dial to grind the exact amount of coffee you need for the number of drinks you're making, and that's it. The simplicity is exactly what strategist writer Jeremy Relosa, who bought the machine about a year ago, likes about it. Previously, Relosa used a hand crank model that took too much work and a blade grinder that resulted in uneven ground size. The Krups, he says, solves both these problems, giving him the ease of an electric machine and the consistency of a burr blade, he says. Now, he says he makes great pour-over daily and never has to fidget with the grind setting or cup dial. He simply pours his beans in, turns it on, and walks away. The appliance also comes with a tiny brush to get all the coffee unstuck from the plastic grounds container, he says. But if you keep it clean, I've found that you rarely have to use it. The bits just slide right off as you dump them into your filter. Number 4. Fellow Oud Brew Grinder Gen 2. Fellow's Oud Grinder, as polished looking and thoughtfully designed as its electric kettle and travel mug, was an instant hit among industry pros when it hit the market a few years ago. This is their new and improved version with slightly more precision in range and expanded capacity, according to the brand. The machine combines fast, consistent, and typically commercial-grade flat burr grinding technology with a physical footprint on the smaller side. They really thought about every detail, says Jared Morrison, County founder and company CEO of Sightglass Coffee in San Francisco. The dial that adjusts the grind size is very intuitive. The cup that catches the grind is magnetic, so it clicks into position tightly and easily. The machine even has a button that shakes out any residual chaff, the leftover coffee skins that mostly come off during roasting, but usually not all the way, into the cup, instead of blowing them out onto your counter, which happens with other grinders. Number 5. Eureka Mignon Filtro. Eureka makes some of my favorite grinders. Each one feels like an absolute tank of a machine. Clad in metal and way heavier than it appears, the Filtro might be one of the least expensive Eureka grinders, but it's every bit as robust as the higher-end models. The Filtro has flat burrs, so it grinds coffee extremely consistently and can grind fine enough for espresso. It's pretty loud though, and you have to hold the grind button down continuously, so there are some trade-offs. If you enjoy this video, like the video, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for more interesting videos like this.